Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on Jurassic Collectibles. So today I kind of decided to pick up a couple of the older figures I haven't got in my Mattel collection. Figures from the Dino Rivals line, a couple of the Roarivores I never picked up when they did that initial wave. So over the next couple of weeks we're going to take a look at two of those Roarivores that I decided to pick up. So I picked up the Ceratosaurus, as you can see before you, and also the green Baryonyx. And they were heavily reduced on Amazon, so I thought I might as well pick them up since I never did beforehand. And as you can see today, we have got the Ceratosaurus to take a look at. So you can see pretty cool looking repaint of this dinosaur. Very, very different to the initial kind of Jurassic Park 3 version. Obviously the older kind of orange and reddish Dino Rivals packaging that we used to have. Owen Grady, Ceratosaurus 3+. The Jurassic World logo just up at the top there, as you can see kind of up there. That really, really nice Dino Rivals reddish orange kind of backdrop. The back of the packaging. All of the other Roarivores that came out in this line, so the Ankylosaurus, the Baryonyx and the Metriacanthosaurus. A pretty cool look at the figure itself. The Dino Facts app kind of fact card that we got with the Dino Rivals line. And then some additional legal information on the underside of this figure. So this particular figure I paid about £12 for, so not too bad for a Roarivore at all. Wasn't a big fan of the initial Ceratosaurus. I've got mine here, as you can see, but it really struggles with standing, so I'm interested to get this one out. I know it's the same sculpt, but I'll be interested to see if it does decide to stand a little bit better, or if we're going to be having this issue again. So, without any further ado, let's crack this figure open and take a look. Okay, so here we have got the Dino Rivals version of the Ceratosaurus out of the packaging. Before we go any further with this one, we do get the Dino Facts card, as we got with all of the Dino Rivals figures. You can see if I twist the light around a bit. Quite a charming, kind of cartoony looking Ceratosaurus on this one. Nice looking card. And obviously the logos on the backing, as you all know at this point. Now the main draw itself is the Ceratosaurus. And I do have to say, unfortunately, this one is like its other relative, where if you put it in the pose that Mattel want it in, which is kind of this pose, it decides to mug me off completely by standing when I do it on camera. Interesting. So I was playing with this a little bit beforehand, and it would not stand like this. It would not keep its centre of gravity, and it kept leaning towards this side, the side where the leg is farthest back, and kind of toppling over. So this suggests that you can achieve the effect with it, but it is certainly quite difficult to do so. Now, bringing the Ceratosaurus a little bit closer, you can see some nice paint apps on this guy, some kind of rust sort of coloration on the back of the figure. If I twist that around to give us a bit more light, you can see some quite nice patterning on it. It looks pretty good, pretty nicely detailed. Certainly not as many paint applications as the last version of this dinosaur. As you can see, if we bring the original version in, certainly more paint apps on this one. There we go. The collapse of the Ceratosaurus has begun. You can see we do have some paint apps on the leg just here. I'm going to twist the light back across just to get that out of shot a little bit. You can see there, we do have some fairly decent paint apps there. No paint apps on the toenails. This is, of course, a Roarivore that does not want to focus. There we go. There we go. So yeah, it's obviously got the kind of sound area underneath its stomach. Looks fairly decent. Obviously the arms, same exact sculpt as the last one, so these are on ball joints. I will say they are a little bit loose here, but they work fine. We have got the tail, which is all one colour. Appears slightly lighter on camera than it does in person. It is a slightly different shade of brown than the paintwork on the Ceratosaurus, but it's really not that noticeable. And you can see, all in all, a nice dinosaur if it would stand, which is the biggest issue. If we bring the face sculpt in and just get some more light on it, there, you can see pretty nice face sculpt. Nice use of dark browns, nice kind of light brown for the horn. All looks really, really good and actually really, really well detailed. You can sort of see from that angle there, that is a really, really nice face sculpt. But it just doesn't quite hit the mark because it can't stand, which is so problematic. Now the play feature with this one is a bite, so obviously it's a Roarivore, so it will make a noise and bite, as I'll show you. It sounds a little bit like a T-Rex bite. I'm not sure if maybe they reused the sound effect, but with that said, it's a decent enough figure. So you can see very hit or miss as to whether or not this one will stand. Some days you can get it to stand, other days it just does not want to. So all in all, I wouldn't really recommend this figure. I hate to say it, I like the Ceratosaurus as a... There we go. This is getting quite old already. I like the Ceratosaurus as a figure, as a kind of dinosaur even. And I think it has got some unique characteristics which transition well into a figure. But this particular sculpt just does not do this dinosaur justice. I mean, you can get it standing that way, and you can see that looks pretty spot on. It's pretty stable like that, but that's kind of all you're going to get pose-wise. So I definitely think this is a dinosaur that Mattel need to revisit at some point. Perhaps they could give us a one with more play features like a Sound Strike, or kind of in the Control and Conquer line. But as it is, not really one that's necessarily worth picking up unless you can get it for really cheap. So, with all that said and done, I hope you enjoyed this retrospective look at the Ceratosaurus. Do stay tuned for lots more looks at other figures from the Mattel line, and I'm kind of looking at branching out and covering some other dinosaurs here as well. JC is still around, obviously. He is very busy at the moment, so I'll be taking the lead on a lot of content for the foreseeable future at the moment, but he is still in the background, and we frequently catch up and talk about the content I'm doing, what we want to review on the channel, so do not worry, he is still very much here, and I'm sure he'll have videos popping up for you here and there as well. So thanks so much for checking this one out, guys. Take care, and as always, have a great week.